Hi guys, I just want to do a live about health boosting things, and I'm struggling a little bit with my health myself these days, and I wanted to share a little bit of how we can make our health a little bit better. But still, there's so many things going on in the world right now, and not great things. If you have followed me on my other profile called Mark Bonner Freedom, I actually am half kicked out of that profile, so I am now joining this profile a little bit more. But it's hard to speak on this profile about honesty, what's going on in the world. So I'm going to stick mostly to speaking about health here, and also, of course, in some subtle way, speaking about what's going on in the world, because I don't want to get censored. And it's like with any rule of the world, it's like if there's a rule that you can't do something, but it doesn't make sense or it's not empathetic, like Instagram is doing right now, I can't speak up, I can't say what I want. And because Instagram is censoring me, then I have to speak in some terms where I'm not exactly saying what I'm saying. But I wanted to do two different lives, and one live right now is actually about health. I'm going to do another live after, maybe post it, maybe delete it after, I don't know. I just know I'm getting censored, and I want to avoid getting censored by speaking about what's going on in the world. And that's why I used to have the other profile. I still have it. I post a lot of things. So if you want to know what I posted, you can still go to Mark Bonner Freedom. The thing is, Instagram forced me, nobody forced me, but they said, we will close your profile if you don't post a selfie about with your own face and this number on it. By doing that, I kind of accept the terms of their terms, because I'm saying, this is me, this is who the owner of the profile is, this is me speaking. So what really happens is they can hold that against me. Whatever I post, even if it's not my own words, it's still, my registration, my selfie, the number, writing the number on is kind of me like half signing something or not, it depends on how you look at the law and the systems, but it is somewhat agreeing to some terms. It could be seen as that legally, and that means I'm not doing anything that's not legal. But right now we're in a world where you cannot speak the truth without them. If they don't agree, they will actually stop you in the way that they will censor you as much as they can. So I'm going to try to speak as good as I can on this profile, and I'll probably close down the Mark Bonner Freedom one, because there's ages of content and years of content actually. And I've been getting my content back, but they sent me links where I could download my content from my other profile on Mark Bonner Freedom, but I wasn't able to actually download it. So I had to manually, I'm an IT technician, I had to manually download my own content. My girlfriend is bothering me in the comments, making me go off topic. But really, I'm being censored. So I just wanted to step into saying I'm really doing my best to hopefully share things with you of being aware of what's going on in the world. And so now I'm going to speak a little bit about, while the robot vacuum comes along, I'm going to speak a little bit about what this is, because I mentioned it in my story, and I don't know if you can actually see this here in the tea. Do you maybe recognize this little red thing here? This red thing here is saffron. Saffron can boost our moods, not something I just found out or I made up just because I want you to drink saffron. Saffron is actually also called, I'm sorry for the squeaky noise, it's the robot vacuum trying to find its home. It usually takes too long. So saffron really is a mood booster. And it's known for years, actually, for some menopause, women going through menopause, and even I think pain women have menstruation. But now also, latest science, and I shared about this before, shows that saffron, it doesn't have to be a tea, you could eat it as well. Saffron boosts your mood. And if you want your mood to be boosted, you don't have to have a depression or anything. But if you are prone to getting sad or having issues with your mental health, It can be more than just your balance of hormones in your body, which is why this also works potentially against menopause. Not against it makes it milder, I guess. I haven't read the science on that, so you go research it on yourself. But I read the science about saffron, and if you want to feel better in your life, if you want to feel higher moods without the side effects of antidepressants, because what they did in a test, they actually figured out that saffron, as a fluke, they were actually testing for something else, can boost your boost your moods. And this way, they did double-blinded trial, I think it's called, where they take someone and they, like a group of people, and divide it into three. Some of them don't get any treatments. Some of them do. I'm trying to explain the study as good as I can. Some of them got antidepressants, and some got placebos, and some, I'm getting confused in the data. Some got placebos, some got antidepressants, and some, they got something else. They maybe didn't get anything. So anyways, what they found out is that the people with saffron is the same as they got the mood boosting the same way as the antidepressant study. The thing is, the saffron drinkers, they didn't get any depression, but they didn't also get any, they got a milder, it took away some of the edge of it, as well as the antidepressants does. They worked equally as good, except that the people drinking saffron or eating it, they didn't get any side effects of what you normally get side effects from antidepressants. And that's why also antidepressants, if you start them, you cannot just go off them straight away, because that will lead to an even harder, deeper depression sometimes. So that's super dangerous. So if you're already taking depressants, maybe you want to look into this and maybe supplement, but you have to maybe talk to your doctor, or it's not that I think doctors know everything, but talk to any health specialist that you know of that can help you see the benefits of this. Look it up. It's just, and like my girlfriend says in the comments, she heard that saffron could also be increasing your libido. Is that true? That is very true. They have been doing studies about how this can affect your wanting more sex, your libido, like you actually you want to be more active. I have a hard time saying this in English. I don't know why. Maybe because I was translating the study to my girlfriend in Danish. So, but all in all, saffron really helps. But you have to be aware of a few things. If you are like me, very high energy, or you don't like going to sleep. I love sleeping when I'm sleeping, but I have a hard time getting into bed, or just actually going to bed and for sleep. And I always feel like I'm missing out. I have FOMO, so when it's like 10 at night in the evening, I start getting a lot of energy. And usually it's because I'm actually overly tired. I have started getting tired, but I can't really feel the tiredness. Instead, I feel a boost of adrenaline. And that boost of adrenaline makes me want to stay awake and do a lot of projects and, clean the house or something like I normally don't want to do. Suddenly all the things that is really urgent, even doing my work, it could be any assignment that I have, I suddenly get a boost of energy, and then I will start doing this thing. And it doesn't always serve me, because then I lack sleep. And when I lack sleep, my body becomes out of balance. And this is really well studied as well. So if you're if you read off your phone a lot before you go to sleep, it's very bad for you because you have blue light. You probably heard about this before. Just leaving your phone out of the bedroom would be a great option. Even for me, I'm not doing that very often. And so when you lack sleep, it doesn't matter how much this you drink, you probably won't be as balanced as you could be with the right amount of sleep. And right amount of sleep is anything between 7 and 10 hours, depending on if you're a young person or an older person, or depending on how your sleep schedule works the best for you. I I find that if I'm in a normal balance in life, and I can supplement it with saffron tea or other supplements that I also take, but I definitely want to get my vitamins and my minerals through my food. So eating healthy, I know I have a lot of ulcers in my mouth, blisters, when I then don't get sleep enough, and then I start, feeling not so, up and fresh. I actually start getting blisters and getting a little bit out of balance. And usually this can also, if I eat some foods that are not beneficial for me, I can be thrown out of balance. And then again, my immune system is kicking in. And that's why I've been so expressive about the injections people have been taking during the pandemic, because this is part of why I started being out of balance, and why I suddenly couldn't eat some foods, and why I suddenly had issues with my health because of that. And nobody talks a lot about this, and not even doctors who should know everything about this, but they only get a few days of study. If they're lucky, they get a few days of when they go to a lecture about injections. I can't say the actual word because then I'll be banned again. I'm still banned. I see there's only 3 people in my live, and I know I have a lot of followers, so I'm already banned, and it's fine that only a few people see what I post. As long as someone sees it, then maybe someone benefits. So if you don't get your sleep regularly and you don't eat food that benefits your body, I've been eating red kale, cabbage, I think it's called. Eating that has some beneficials. If you get a lot of ulcers or blisters in your mouth, like I do, it seems to be that it could lower the symptoms of herpes and other things like that. If you have typically herpes viral infections, is something that a lot of people have, and it's actually dormant in your spine. So every time your immune system goes because of something, lack of sleep, you're not eating properly, 80% of our immune system is in our stomach. So if that's not working either, when you go to the toilet, you see that maybe it doesn't look that healthy, or it's too tough, or it's too soft. These things can actually affect your body and affect your immune system and your immune system response. But it doesn't mean your immune system doesn't work. I had a therapist yesterday tell me, well, Mark, your immune system actually works great. It's just there's a few things that is slowly healing, where in other people it's healing really fast. So fast that you won't even get the symptoms. So maybe you're not suffering from a lot of things. It's because the proteins that are released into your body using your DNA or your memory T cells, which is kind of like the firemen and the policemen of your body. Anything goes wrong, they're like, oh, wait a minute, we have to do something. Let's look into the books of what we know. And we know that appendicitis also can store a lot of information. The appendicitis actually in your gut, in your bowel bowel system is a tiny bit of like appendix. The appendix is like if your poop goes this way, there's a sudden little bit, a piece where the poop doesn't go in, but it goes past. They recently found out there's a lot of antibodies in that little piece, and my piece was 14 centimeters long. I got it removed, and since then, some things have gone better in my body, but other things have not. And so I would never recommend operating if you don't have other options, but it's very dangerous not operating something like that. So again, your bowels are so important for your immune system. So anything that keeps them out of balance, which would also be lack of sleep, not eating properly, and like if you eat if you don't eat enough vegetables and you don't get your vitamins, we should get all vitamins and all minerals through our food. But because of traditions and culture, we eat different things every part of the year. So the best thing we can do is actually educate ourselves that every food has benefits, except we don't see a lot of benefits in processed food. What is a processed food? It's anything where you take something from nature, you either heat it up or you cut it up, you mix it with something else. So any type of grains could be processed food, except like flour. If you put any flour in your food or anything like that, that is mentioned as processed food. And we have to get all these nutrients from eating grains, but that's actually not correct if we look into the science of it, not all of it at least, we do see there's a lot of issues with inflammation with people eating a lot of bread, because what happens in the body is that the way the body breaks down bread, especially if you eat it often, it breaks down to, more or less, just speak in straight terms, it becomes like sugar in your body. Your body stores it as it would if you ate sugar directly. So all this bread and all this flour and all these things actually breaks down. So if you have a bowel syndrome, or you have any, a leaking gut issues, meaning your gut is, there's you could say holes in your gut, making your body have strange reactions like eczema on your body, or like rashes and things like that. So it's very, very important to look into your gut. And I speak from experience that when my gut is out of balance, I am not doing well. And so you want to look into this. So you can drink saffron tea all you want, but if your gut is out of balance, you won't get as many benefits from it. There's a lot of things that will actually only work in your gut if your gut is working properly. And that's why I'm struggling sometimes with trying supplements, because they don't always work on me. It's because there's one area where my body works slower than other people's bodies, usually because there's a disruptor in my body. It could be microplastics that creates, we know microplastics can create estrogen, which is the hormone we usually find in women. Not that men doesn't have it, but estrogen is actually a breakdown of testosterone. And so getting too much estrogen for a man, it actually can ruin a lot of things in the body. Getting too much estrogen in women, we see this women who are on the pill, actually disrupts their system. And it's hard to notice because it's a mood changer as well. And so you won't actually notice that it might be that issue. And also, like with anything you eat or any way that you live, things will not react. Like if you eat something that's unhealthy for you, you can eat a poison actually. You can go eat a poisonous mushroom. You won't react today. You throw up and then you'll be over and, I feel better now. But 2 days from now, you can actually totally die from that if you don't get a new kidney or a new liver. So things that you eat today doesn't affect you only today. It affects you long term. Most things break down, but the compounds that are left in your body, which are good things as well, can make yourself better. That's why things that you drink every day or eat every day becomes your medicine. So really be aware of how you eat and have some awareness about that is super important for a better health, because what we eat daily becomes our medicine. What we eat now and then cannot become medicine the same way, except if it's super strong. Like I said, something poisonous in small amounts can actually give your body some benefits. But it depends on what poison it is. And of course, I don't think you should take any poisonous things at all. But we can look into things like alcohol is a poison. Actually, if you look it up, you can see two things that actually cleanses your liver. We're always talking about cleansing the liver. Two things that cleanses your liver, that's alcohol is one, but it's not beneficial for you because it's actually a toxin. And also, what's it called? Broccoli. Broccoli also give you some cleansing benefits. So when we have, the information about poison being possibly good for you, it's because it's in small amounts. So you could actually eat. This is how, if you're bitten by a snake, if you work with snakes every day, having a little bit of snake poison in your body can actually be beneficial if you get bitten by a snake, and it won't kill you either. That's also how the injections used to work, like 150 years or even 20 years ago. They developed injections that we call something else with a VAC. I'm not going to say the word because I'm going to get banned even more. But when you take those injections, the original thought of that is that you put some viral bits in your body. Usually it would be live virus. Put that in your body, and your body slowly understands while it slowly releases into the body from the muscles. It understands, oh, this is a virus, let's kill this virus, and then your body creates antibodies. So every time you find a new disease or a new bacteria, your body is actually trying to understand that to make your immune system better. And that's how babies are, we even know a baby's born with a C-section doesn't have the same good immune system as babies born through the vulva, the vagina. Because, and even my girlfriend taught me this, and I've researched it, a lot of women giving birth, and it can sound a little bit disgusting, but a lot of women giving birth, they can actually naturally poop a little bit, and very commonly the baby's nose is turned towards the anal parts, and this makes the baby actually get some of the antibodies from the mother, which was also part of the baby's immune system. We know this from newborn babies. They have antibodies already. They have a immune system that is just kicked in when birth happened. And this is because some of that antibodies are actually from the mother. I talked about herpes before. Herpes can actually be inherited from the mother, meaning that the mother gives the virus also to the baby. It doesn't mean that the baby will then suffer from it all its life, but it can potentially, like I have been struggling, if there's any immune issues or anything, the baby can then also have, breakouts of cold sores and stuff like that. So all in all, the immune system is something that is built from we were babies, and we actually know this from recent science as well. It's very interesting, talking about boosting your health and everything here. When you say hi to someone, let's forget the pandemic, when you actually are a decent, normal being, you give your hand and you don't elbow people, you say hi to people. And we have seen studies where within 3 minutes of shaking hands with someone else, I can't remember, 76% of something like that. Most people, maybe it's even higher, I can't remember. This is a study that I heard Huberman Lab talk about. Huberman, you should look him up on YouTube. There's a fly. Oh, forget about it. Huberman Lab, it's spelled Huberman, and then lab, like a laboratory. Look him up because I'm sharing a lot of his stuff as well on my profile because it's very interesting science. They knew from people handshaking other people that within three minutes, people would do like this or scratching or like putting the same hand in your face. Why do you think this is? Is it because you want to be sick from someone else's germ? No, it's to teach the immune system about this person that you're meeting might have other bacteria and viral matter on their hands. And so to make your immune system understand this and create antibodies from it, you are designed to touch yourself like this all the time. And even if you knew how many times a day you touch your face, this is part of why your immune system, if you don't get sick often, this is part of why your immune system works so much better than many other people's. It's because your immune system is constantly being educated about how to create antibodies from something that is not you. And we know this from also from science that, and this is mostly science prior to the pandemic, because during the pandemic there's a lot of spread of misinformation. And I'm not talking about people with conspiracy theories. I'm talking about the actual governments and pharma spreading this misinformation, saying it's not true. But it's been true for hundreds of years that we know. If I get a virus or bacteria, my body works through that, creates antibodies, and makes me healthy again. And so it fights the disease or infection that I have. So this way, my body stores some of that information in what I mentioned before, memory T cells. And these memory T cells are like your little military, but just librarian military that knows exactly what's going on in your body. That's why I mentioned the appendix before that you have in your bowels, because it actually remembers exactly how to break down that virus or that bacteria. Not only that, I will have leftovers in my skin, my breath, because it's so super tiny you can't see it. These antibodies, the same way as it would be active virus or dead virus, these antibodies would often then shed onto you. If I'm in a room with you for, let's say, 2 hours, you would inhale some of that. Even, I told you before, shaking my hand when we met each other and you would scratch your eyes or something. This is you putting my antibodies and my bacteria and viruses on your skin and in your eyes and nose and mouth, because then your body can get to know this and build immunity towards it. So my bacteria and my antibodies are helping you. That's why initially this was called herd immunity. They then changed it to say, if everyone gets the injection, then it's herd immunity. Well, it's not really how that works. It usually works because, there's a little bit of fly here that wants to be in the live. It usually works because that's how we survived, 200,000 years, even more. I think humans been alive even more. It just depends on the Homo sapiens or whatever we want to talk about. But in the end, that is why we lived so long without those injections. This is how humans survive. This is how the body works. We shed antibodies and viral matter onto each other, helping each other's immune system. We also know this from recent studies about, I talked about the bowels before. And I think this is so interesting because we actually figured out if people take a healthy person and they retract some of the poop from that person. I know it sounds crazy, probably you heard this before. And they put it into a sick person that has bowel issues, problems with going to the toilet, the stomach, how their immune system works in the stomach. I just told you before in this live that 80% of our immune system is in our body, in our bowels. So when you move this poop, and I think they synthesize it and they clean it out and take some of the bacteria, but they know that some of the bacteria and the antiviral matter, if you put that into a sick person, you can actually save this sick person from having issues with their body. So all in all, we have the knowledge today, and we're so lucky living in these times, even though there's a lot of misinformation, and all that we know today, we think is nonsense in 100 years, but it makes sense right now, and this has been the fact through history. What we know is what we know, and we can only go with what we know, and maybe in 100 years from now, we know something else. Maybe we'll become even smarter than this. But right now, that is the studies I'm really interested in. Taking care of your bowels, getting your sleep is a great life hack. I'm really bad at myself in some periods I am really good at it, but the rest of the time I'm trying to boost my immune system and my mood with having saffron and other supplements. If you want to know about my supplements that I take, just write a DM in the live after. I'll post this. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to see how banned my profile is, and then I'll see if it's worth saving this video. If you think it's worth saving the video, please like it after or share it or something. I just want to share my knowledge so you can stay more healthy and you can have awareness that it's not your doctor that determines if you're healthy or not. It's your own awareness and your own research and understanding of how the body works. I'm doing this because the flies keep wanting to be in the live. So I hope you learned a little bit today. At least, you can try it out. Saffron is the red gold. It's quite expensive, but you need such a little amount. And it's like 35 milligrams, as far as I remember. You can read this and study. Please go look up on YouTube. You search for... thanks for that, Man May. There was someone say, of course it's worth it. Thank you for that. You can look up on Google, if you Google, what's it called? Saffron increases mood, or saffron as antidepressant, saffron as libido supplement, saffron for menopause, things like that. See if you can find some studies. I know the studies are on Huberman Lab. I know he talked about, no, it's not actually Huberman Lab. I think he talked about it first, but you will find saffron and a lot about it if you search on YouTube. And if you can't find it, send me a message and I would love to share that info. Anyways, anything you can do to boost your mood is also the final tips. Do a gratitude journal daily. You write down 3 to 5 things, maybe 10 things that you are appreciative of, and You can, hi Natalia, sorry, I'm reading too fast. Thanks for, I did a podcast with her, so you also tune into this about actually anxiety. So again, about anxiety, this is a mood booster, saffron tea or just saffron pure. You can eat it straight out of the box. I eat it 3 times a day. I think the study initially says once in the morning and once in the evening, so 2 times a day, but you can look up the study. But all in all, here's another, if you do a gratitude journal daily, that is also something that can boost your not your immune system. Well, eventually, yes, but boost your mood. And then eventually, the happier you become, the more insightful you become of how you can boost your mood. Sorry, I'm a little disturbed by Man May says also saffron is antidepressant #1. And you see, you read the study, then you'll know this. Another thing you can also do daily if you want to boost your immune system is do sports every day. 30 minutes of anything, exercise, even walking for 30 minutes is a mood booster and immune booster. It actually lets your body work through things, and also water. It's super important to have a high water intake. Not too high, but I calculated that I'm supposed to drink around 3.2 liters a day, 3.25 liters a day, so almost 3.5 liters every day. Especially if you have anything with your body, have any back issues, have any joints, muscle issues, soreness, if you have inflammations of any kind, make sure you drink a lot of water. And not just any water, preferably, and this is Huberman Lab's study that says tap water in America is not beneficial for you. So cleaning your water from pesticides, metals, lead. There's even, I found some tests on some waters that you buy that actually add lead into the water. Lead is one of the most highest and worst toxins we have. Actually, that's why you have lead-free gasoline, because they knew how destroying lead was. We know this from history, how people used to make hats were dying due to lead poisoning. So definitely things you want to look into. Cleaning your water is so important if you want to stay healthy. And understanding that we have something, actually even in Denmark, we have too high PFAS content. You can look this up, PFAS. PFAS is a plastic that pollutes your body, and it's an endocrine disruptor, I think it's called. It's disrupting your body to think that it's getting more, estrogen. So again, so many things that we have to know. And I mean, you don't have to take everything I say in this. Go with the saffron tea to begin with, if that's what you want. And doesn't even have to be a tea. Like I said, just eat it. Anything that you can do to your body, help it, get through things. What I do if I get sick, I take a lot of D vitamins, C vitamins. But you can also eat foods that has a high amount. And I'm not talking about like eating an orange or something. Like I'm talking about something equivalent to eating 50 oranges, but your stomach cannot handle eating that many oranges. That's why I take supplements sometimes. But I do think that eating naturally and getting natural foods in your body that has these same benefits is much better. The way the body takes up these things are so much better than you just, taking supplements. I would only take supplements if your body has issues already. Not only, but I think definitely if you have issues with your bowels, or that your stomach doesn't work as it should, your immune system doesn't work as it should, you would definitely want to take more supplements like C vitamin, D vitamin. Zinc is a great help for your body to remove inflammation. Even iodine is a really important thing for the thyroid. The thyroid is where, it's just right here. You can, if you feel in your neck here, where there's a little bump here, or like a hole between here in your chest, that is where your thyroid is placed. And the thyroid really it controls the hormones of your body. So doing something that's beneficial for this, I have a friend, Simon with Set. He did like a test with some iodine. He put it on my skin, and we can see how quickly it dissolves into my skin. It shows if I need it or not. actually, iodine is found in some produced salts, but I don't recommend eating too many of these fake salts. I recommend instead eating some natural salts like sea salt or something else like that. Salt is also a super beneficial thing to have for our body. We are often told in the media that we should avoid salt, and even the inventor of Microsoft, I'm not going to mention his name to be banned, he just bought something called real salt, which is not salt at all. It's actually not beneficial for your body the same way because it's fake salt, basically. So you want to stay away from these products. You want to find the natural part of those in foods and everywhere around you. What I actually do is I have because I'm quite spiritual, I feel like I attract things that's supposed to be in my life. So what I do is that if I keep seeing a plant popping up around me, and I do have a lot of plants around me, this is a rubber plant, it's not to be eaten, but this is actually what is chewing gum is created from. But plants all over, if I keep seeing a plant in the garden or something like that, I often look it up to see, why am I attracting this plant? Why do I suddenly notice this plant? And I found out more than ever that most plants and even pests in your garden is some of the best immune boosting qualities you can find. So definitely have some fun with that, and I hope you will meditate. I hope you will do some exercise, get your sleep. Do some breath work. That's why meditation is so important. Breathing exercises like that. Look up some of the things I talked about. If there's anything that resonates with you, that's definitely an invitation to look into that. So I'm going to end the live now and finish my now cold saffron tea, but definitely this has already been working for me, and I've been doing it for a couple of weeks, and I feel a little bit of mood boosting every day because of this. And I didn't feel depressed before, but I do have this sleep pattern that is not great. So this can help me a little bit on the way, but not entirely. I have to also get my sleep. I have to also eat healthy. Stay away from most bread and processed foods. If you get the more raw foods I can get, the better it is. I just recently found out I'm allergic. I found this out years ago. I'm allergic to milk products. And I found a butter that is so organic and well made that I don't get allergies from it. If you want to know what this butter is and you're dealing with the same thing, hit me up in the DMs and write me and let me know, or in the comments, I'll share what it is. But there's a French butter that I can actually eat, and the list is long. Every time I try something really organic, I have a more tendency to be can eat it, to be possible to having the chance to eat it without getting any allergies. Anyways, I hope this live was informative for you, that you got something out of it. And I do think that we should also think about what's going on in the world right now, and not just buy into everything the media says, because that's a really important thing also to keep yourself sane and mood boosted. Is not to keep looking at the TV, listening to the mainstream media is also a great way to not stress about what's going on in the world. And if one of my profiles stresses you from that, let me know. I think my other profile, Mukbang of Freedom, will be stressing, so don't look at that all the time if you want to have a emotionally balanced life. I do try to put the more happy content on this profile, because I think life is about balance, and I hope you remember that. Again, I could continue this live forever and speak to myself and read your comments below, but thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate your time. And let me know if you have any questions, or if any of my information helped you, or if you want to know more about it. I'll see you soon, guys, and I appreciate you so much. See you next time.